Hello, welcome to our presentation about the book A Kiss Before Dying by Ira Levin. Let's go to Finn.
The characters of A Kiss Before Dying. We'll start with the main character, Bud. He's the one that goes after the sisters for money. He always wanted to be rich, wealthy. He's a tall, handsome young man with blue eyes. He's very witty. He comes up with intricate plans every time something doesn't go his way. You could say he manipulates people around him so he gets what he wants. Dorothy. Dorothy is the first sister that Bud decides to exploit for money. That he could get from her father, Leo. She's very naive and believes everything Bud tells her. She thinks Bud will marry her one day, so that's why she does everything he asks. She has blonde hair and brown eyes. Ellen Kingship. Ellen is the sister of Dorothy, and she's set on finding out what happened to her younger sister. She doesn't put confidence in the fact that she killed herself. So that's why she decides to find out what really happened. She has brown hair and brown eyes. Marion Kingship. Marion is the last attempt at obtaining the money from Leo Kingship, their father. She is very insecure and thereby hasn't loved anyone before Bud. Bud knew everything about her, what she likes, art, what she doesn't like, and how she is as a person. She has brown hair and brown eyes. Leo Kingship. Leo is the father of Dorothy, Ellen, and Marion. He owns the Kingship Copying Corporation, where most of his wealth comes from. He's very concerned about Marion's life, especially after she intends on marrying Bud. He doesn't like Bud very much. He has blonde hair that is slowly graying, blue and gray eyes. Gordon Gant. Gordon is a radio DJ. He helps Ellen with her investigation of Dorothy's death. It's very nice. He is, as Ellen said, very handsome, and he has blue eyes and blonde hair.
Thanks, Finn. Now I'm going to tell you the summary about the book. The book is about a guy who names Bud, who has no money. So he comes up with a plan. He wants to marry a girl with rich parents so he gets money from them. He finds one named Dorothy, who has a father with a copper smeltery, and he is very rich. It goes well for a long time. They are happy, but then he accidentally makes pregnant, and it's not very acceptable to make someone pregnant and then marry him or her, because so he thinks, now I don't get any money. So he doesn't want a son either. So he gives her poisonous pills, disguised as abortion pills, and she refuses to take them. He finds out, he's very angry, and he comes up with another plan. He takes her to the rooftop of a tall building, what is supposed to be a romantic trip for her then. Then he puts her on the edge of the building, and then he gives her a kiss and pushes her off the building. He makes it look like it was a suicide, so he sends a suicide note to the sister Ellen. Ellen refuses to believe this and goes investigating. She met a guy named Gordon, who is a radio DJ. Together they search for the murderer and what actually happened. They come very close. They find the murderer's house. Bud finds out and he thinks, oh no, this is not good. So he comes up with a plan to kill Ellen. He succeeds kidnapping her and then killing her. Then he thinks, I want to give another shot. So he goes for the last sister of Dorothy. The radio DJ, Gordon didn't forget about the fact that he killed 2 sisters, so he wants his new girlfriend. She refuses to believe him, so he wants to prove that he's right. He breaks into the house of Bud and finds stuff from Ellen and Dorothy. He also finds a list with things on it, what they liked. He decides to confront the dad with it. He goes to the dad, Leo. Leo is very flabbergasted. He thinks, what? Why? But he believes Gordon. So they come up with a plan. They want to put him under pressure, push him into a corner, and then then ask him what happened. They succeed. It goes well. He is in the copper smeltery getting a tour. They push him into the corner and ask him what he knows about the murder. First he denies everything, but then he bursts in tears. He admits everything, the murder on the 2 girls. He is above a smelt pot. Leo gives Bud a choice: jump in the smelt pot and die, or go to the police, admit everything and go to prison. Bud decides to jump in the melt pit and dies. Now I'm going to tell you about the writer of the book. Ira Levin wanted to become a writer when he was only 15 years old. He went to elitary school, and when he graduated, he went to the university in Des Moines, where he studied English and philosophy. The first book that he wrote was A Kiss Before Dying, which we read. It was made in 1953, and in 1955 there was announced that there was going to be made a film about it by Gert Oswald. The main characters are Bud Girls, which was played by Robert Wagner, and Dorothy was played by Wen Woodward.
I'm going to talk about the scenes that were left out and the things were added. I'm going to talk about the 1956 movie because that's the one we watched. The other one we didn't have time and we couldn't find it, so we decided to watch the 1956 movie because it was readily available. In the movie there were a lot of scenes and there were a few character changes. For instance, in the beginning of the movie, Bud pushes Dorothy down the tribune and made it look like an accident. This doesn't happen in the book, and I think it was added because to show that Bud is a mean guy, kind of. He doesn't care about hurting people. Also, in the film, you see Bud's mother way more often, and now she lives with Bud. In the book, Bud has a house which is located further from the campus, where his mother lives, and he lives on campus most of the time. In the book, when Bud goes to steal poison from the school, it is not very thrilling. It is not a lot of things happen. He goes there, sees some girl, talks with her. When she leaves, he grabs his stuff and he goes. In the movie, there are a few things that happen more people get in the way to make it more thrilling for the audience. In the book, there is an explanation on how Bud managed to make a fake death note with Mary and her with Dorothy are writing. In the film, they show a scene where Bud asks to translate that sentence, that text in from Spanish into English for him. So that's how he got it. In the book, Also, the ending of the book is fairly different than the ending of the film. Firstly, they swapped out Marion's death with Ellen's death, so Ellen doesn't even die, uh, and in the book she does, and Marion doesn't even exist in the book. That's the thing I wanted to talk about next. Um, the way Bud dies is also different. In the book, he falls into a smelter for copper. So the location where he dies is the same. It's the Kingship smeltery, but he doesn't fall into a vat of molten copper, but he gets driven over by a truck driver who has to figure out the way because Ellen pushes Bud in front because Bud pushes Ellen in front of the truck, so the truck goes the opposite direction to not hit Ellen and then hits Bud. Now I'm going to talk about the scenes left out. There were a lot of scenes left out. That's because they didn't include Marion. In the book there are 3 sisters. In the film there are 2, mainly because of time. And the book's longer. The book has more time for this. The film has to have needs to be 2 hours at most. So a lot of scenes with Marion have been changed to provide for Ellen being the sister, or just removed because time. There were also some other things in the book. You get a flashback of Bud to explain that he was in the military. He shoots a Japanese soldier, and the Japanese soldier is scared, so he pees his pants. This also happens at the end of the book, where before he falls into the vat, he also pees his pants because he's scared, and now he gets why the Japanese soldier did it. Also, in the movie, we get explained that he went to the military not very well, so there were just some bullets on his, like big capsules, big bullets on his table, and he fakes a panic attack and tells Dorothy that it was because of a military background. That's the only explanation we get, and it could easily go over your head. In the book, Bud kills some. This is a minor difference, but in the book, Bud kills Dorothy, and then he has to go back to her room to get the fake abortion pills. And in the movie, those abortion pills are vitamin pills, and they are just in her purse. Also, in the book, she sits on a napkin, not a napkin, a napkin, and in the movie, she doesn't do it. It's just in her purse.
Now, our opinion about the book. We think it's a very thrilling and exciting book because there's a lot of action in the book and movie. The only thing we noticed is that the beginning of the book is very slow. It could go a bit faster, so the reader is immediately in the book. We liked the variety of different words. It sometimes were very simple words, but other times it were old and difficult words. For the below average English student, it was very difficult to follow. But we enjoyed it. It was very thrilling. So you actually wanted to read it. We give the book a 8 out of 10, and we.
The cooperation in our group went very well. We all did our part. Unfortunately, Justin couldn't film, so he wrote a little more than we did, so that eventually weighed out. So we all did our part. We all did the same. Um, there weren't any trouble between us. We all did very well, I think, and it was a good experience.
Thanks for watching to our book presentation. Bye!